These fan casts are getting way out of proportion. So recently, the topic of conversation in the comic book space has been this one interview that this actor Brandon Sklenar gave, and it isn't even a recent interview, it was pretty old. And he's talking about his hopes to play Batman and how he loves the character. But clearly, in the video, you can tell he has no idea what he's talking about, and he's just like lying.
Well, I'd make it my own for sure. Like more true to the comic. I love Christian's version's probably my favorite version of Batman. But I'd want him to see, like, lean more into like Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne, how he's in the comics, and then make Batman as dark as possible.
And it's actually so funny to watch because you can just tell that he's just saying whatever because he's like desperate for this role. And of course, I get that anyone would be desperate for such a humongous career defining role, but it just like soured my taste personally. Like, people are discussing because there's people who are team Brandon who are like, oh, so what, no actor really knows what they're playing. And then there's people like me, I'm like, okay, fine, don't know, but don't lie that you know what you're talking about. And that whole video is just like, it's so icky to watch, and it just put me off this whole fan cast. Not to mention, he doesn't look anything like how I would imagine Bruce Wayne to look. He doesn't give Batman whatsoever. Maybe people like him because he has a kind of deep voice and he's muscular, but that's not what Batman is. I mean, just the thought of an actor just thinking that he's fooling comic book fans by saying, yeah, I want to make Batman as dark as possible, and I want to make Batman like he is in the comics. That is the most generic, nothing, and quite frankly, wrong answer I've literally ever heard in my life, because what is he talking about? And then he says, Christian Bale is my favorite. I like it comic book accurate. Are we living in some fantasy land where he thinks that he's fooling fans into believing he knows anything about what he's talking about? He just wants to check. And that just completely, like, before I was like, sure, he can be Batman. This, now I'm like, no. Like, I will actually boycott if he's Batman.